One of the weaknesses of the show is this idea that all they care about is romantic's probably a strong word when they're 14, but you know what I'm saying, like the tension between members that are attracted to each other. I wouldn't say members of the opposite sex. We're not entirely sure the orientation of everybody involved here, but you know what I mean. Like I'll just say romance. That's probably the best way to put it. They're so focused on the romance and the tee-hee naked bodies are funny and oh, it's awkward when somebody you're attracted to sees you naked, lol, all this stuff. They're obsessed with that. What they should be focusing more time on, and what's more realistic in the real world. And I know this is a fantasy world, but you still have human beings. These are the same human beings. You take human beings from this world, you put them in a world that has angels. They're gonna react like human beings. They're still human beings. The only thing you changed is you added angels to the equation here. So they're still human beings. Human beings act in a certain way. I was just editing my reaction to The Last of Us episode 3. And I anticipated several things simply because I know how human beings think. I know the way their brains are wired. When you've been with somebody for a long time, this is how you're going to react to this scenario. That's just the way it is. And I would correctly predicted it, not because I'm a genius, but because I understand humanity. I understand the way human beings think. I understand how they react in certain scenarios. Not every human being, you always have outliers. You always have outliers. But if we're going to take a broad spectrum of the population, 70% of people will react this way. That's what you should write towards, that 70%. In football, they talk about you can't have a team full of outliers. You can't have, this guy's 50 pounds lighter than a linebacker should be, but he's so fast. He really plays well. Okay, we'll make an exception. Oh, this running back, he's too tall for a running back. This quarterback is 7 foot tall. He's too tall to be a quarterback, or he's too short, or his hands are too small. Before you know it, your entire team is filled with exceptions. And then you have a bad team. It's the same with writing. You can, every now and then, have the exception for a character. This character doesn't react like everybody else. But if you do it more than once, before you know it, you're going to have a script full of exceptions, and none of it feels real. It's just fan. The audience can't relate to any of these people. You have one character like Wednesday Addams. She's super weird, but everybody else is normal. And, normal is a broad term because she could be autistic or something, whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else is operating within that 70% spectrum, and you have this one character who's just she's an outlier. That's okay. Wednesday's a great show. It's one of my favorite shows. Because you have that one outlier that makes your stuff interesting. Stitchers, she was an outlier. So many of these shows, House, he was an outlier. Everybody else fell within the spectrum. So you can't make a script full of exceptions. You can't make a script full of outliers. Some of these people have to resemble actual human beings most of us interact with on a daily basis. Or it just doesn't feel grounded. It feels like a cartoon. And I'm not talking about the animation. I'm talking about the pejorative sense of the word cartoon. It just doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel grounded. So, what am I saying here? What I'm saying is, 14-year-olds, yes, they're obsessed with the opposite sex or whoever they're attracted to. They are. But you know what they're even more obsessed with? Their friends. Their friends aren't talking to them. That's the end of the world, right? Their friends aren't talking to them. Their friends didn't invite them to a party. That's the end of the world. That means something to them. Their friendships are more important, I would argue, than their love life. Even though the love life is super important. But what's more important, what starts earlier in school and what lasts throughout is the fact that the friends are the most important thing to a teenager. Especially if you're talking about 11 to 16. As you get older, your love life becomes more and more important. When you get into college, your love life is more important than your friends. It's true, but not in high school. If you think otherwise, you're not remembering high school correctly. Like I said, there are outliers. Maybe you were an outlier. Maybe you felt differently. Maybe all you cared about was love life. Maybe you didn't care about love life at all or friends. But you're an outlier, if that's the case. Kids care about friends. And what they've done here, they have done very little work on friendship in this show. The two bullies, they imply that he hangs out with them and he's close to them, but we never see them hanging out with him. We see them over when it's time for the Minnesota to walk by and then to have the woof whistle, googly eyes. We never see them like a 30-second, 2-minute scene with them just playing cards or sitting there making fun of this guy or, doing shenanigans. It's implied. So I'm not saying that they're saying he's a loner and he doesn't have any friends. And they actually put some work into them having friends. And they've had a couple scenes that's starting to come to mind. A couple times, maybe. But there is very little work put into maintaining and keeping these relationships. He doesn't have a fight with his friends and then make up with them at the end of the episode. And the episode is about that relationship. It's always about the awkwardness with the girls and shipping them and like who's going to be with who and tee hee, you saw my naked body and all this stuff, right? So like a good example of this is Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter. I know they were younger; they were like 11 or something. Friendship was all that mattered on that show. It was all about the friendship. There was like one episode where he's on a date. Again, I'm saying he's too young, but they could have just had the fighting and or they could have made him older if they wanted to. The original writer of the manga could have just had him be older, and it'd be about his love life. No, the focus of that was friendship. It's why it's one of my favorite shows. Fullmetal. It's the Brotherhood. They have shipping in there. It's in there, but the Brotherhood, that sibling relationship is what's the most important thing. You need these other relationships. You can't. We have sex 3% of our lives, if that. Probably 1.5% of our life. The amount of time we live, the hundreds of thousands of hours that we live, 1% of that is having sex. We spend 97% thinking about it. Like, it's ridiculous. It's so imbalanced. There are so many other things in life that are important, especially friendship. So, I think that's a weakness on the show. They just don't focus on the friendships at all. Like, the friendships are there, but they're out of focus. That's probably the best way to put what I'm saying. The friendships are out of focus. So, there's probably not enough time to address that in the show. And, like, the show's like 25 years old. But, like, so I'm just saying, if we're going to rank shows, I love this show, but it's probably not going to be at the top tier. The top tier is going to be Fullmetal, Attack on Titan, and Hunter x Hunter. It's not going to make it up there because it's just all about because of what I said. I'm not going to reiterate it again. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. We're on the first frame, and this is episode 16. We're going on 1. 3, 2, 1. Like I was just saying. Whoa. Oh, okay. At first I thought that was hot dogs with eggs. Look at it, man. Look at you cooking. It's actually sausages with eggs, so that makes more sense. Hot dogs with eggs would not make sense. Really? That's what we're doing, huh? She's big mad. I like the little shenanigans music they're playing too. It's a good point. She's not wrong. Stop reading me. I like how she's like, don't worry about it. That's right. Read her for Phil too. You're too soft. Oh, really? Yeah, we don't need your happy vibe. That's really annoying, actually. Look at his look on his face. Look, I was just trying to make breakfast. Found a bar with great booze. They all have great booze, don't they? Really? Why has it got to be a sleazy adult relationship? Besides, wait a minute. I see. I keep forgetting that she's attracted to him because she's a kid and he's an adult. I just can't keep that in my head, man. It just keeps going out of my head. That's what it is. That's why she's pissed. I was gonna say, why has it got to be a sleazy adult relationship? Like, what is the problem here? Oh, I see. Hilarious. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I like being number one. Yeah, that's right. She needs her eye on the prize. She's distracted. So this is going to be her episode about her dealing with her stupid romantic feelings, right? They didn't actually work. I meant to say feelings and I added the word stupid. So I wasn't quoting stupid. I was quoting romantic. Or feelings. I was quoting feelings. She's out of here. Am I reading too much in that? Farewell is something Americans only say when they will never see you again. Ever. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's getting better, man. Look at him. Reflexes are getting better. I'm more in tune. What the hell you giggling about? Dudes get paranoid, man. What you looking at? That's the final stage of your dementia, man. Oh, crap. Really? Not good. Not good. Pattern orange, huh? Man, I love all the different designs for these angels, man. So interesting. This is a really innovative show. Like, who thinks of just? I told you before, pyramid's a great shape, right? It's a great shape if you're going into battle. What makes way more sense. But you know what makes even more sense? A spear, because like things will just glance off of it, right? I mean, ballistic weapons would be almost useless against this thing. Yeah, yeah, such a bitch. She's got to be one of the worst people ever, man. Toxic narcissism, selfishness, and manipulation. Which not all narcissists are manipulative. I'm best friends with the narcissist, but she is not manipulative, right? She's just really self-absorbed, and that's fine. But like when you add the manipulation into there and then the selfishness, my God, it's just the worst, absolute worst. Look at her pissed. The whole I love her body language too. She's like this. Actually, she does a women thing where like women will put the hand up when they do this. I don't do this. I do like this. You know, really inside baseball. I'm just saying. I noticed Wednesday Adams was doing the same thing. She's doing this right. Hey, can't never could do anything. Oh crap! Like this whole power line thing is a major problem, man. Well, you got 5 minutes. Yeah, thanks for the property damage, by the way. Wait, did she switch from one power cable to the next? Is that what just happened? Interesting. That's how I'd set it up. But I love this limitation of them only have 5 minutes power when they go off the cord. It's just brilliant writing. That's right. Wait. Okay, I was going to say, at first I thought he eradicated it. There's no way he did that. There he is. He's coming for that ass. Wait, he went underground? What the hell? Oh, dude, you thought the shadow was the creature? Are you serious? That's what I'm saying, man. I like him, but he is an idiot. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm sorry. It's something was happening with the ground. The shadow had turned into something that was sucking him into the ground. Okay. All right. Look, I thought he thought the shadow was the creature, man, which would be really stupid. Look at him. Yep. Jesus. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, you're not so snarky now. I will say this about her. She's I couldn't catch what she was saying because I was talking, but like I'm assuming that she actually cares about him. Like she was trying to rescue him, right? Wow, what an interesting power this thing is. Look at her. She's like, I'm going to climb the wall, man. You ain't getting me. Yeah, she is clawing that wall. She's like a cat, man. You know, a cat be sliding down a wall. That's exactly what that reminded me of. So good. Wow, what an interesting power, man. I don't know how this would work in three-dimensional physical space, right? I have no idea how it's doing that, but like magic, right? Yeah, they're screwed. Jesus. That is a damn problem. Well, we know he's alive, like, you know, but that's not the point. The point is what the hell happened. Oh, so you can do a power saving mode, huh? Interesting. I guess, yeah, if you don't do anything, then your life support will still keep working. So basically, this is going to be a rescue mission. So they got to rescue him at the same time trying to figure out how to take care of this globe. Yep. Yeah, let's blame him. I take it back. She doesn't care. She literally does not care. Wow. My God. Wow. Kick his ass. Or her ass. Kick her ass. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, read her for filth. Yeah. That's right. No, man, they need to finish that conversation. Yeah, you've been too soft on him. There's a lot of emotional stuff going on in this episode. A lot of splitting of the breast. I assume that means like you got to take him off the tee, right? You've been pampering him too much. You need like operational freedom though. You're in the field, they're not. So they need to be able to like do things. Maybe he's gonna find out some information. They need to be able to do things in the moment like that may feel necessary. They don't have time to check with the boss. So I don't have a problem with what he did. But I love what they're doing here, right? She's been mothering him too much. So she needs to cuss him out, and she will. So Asuka actually had a point. But Ray has a point too. But I love her narcissistic ass she's talking about. Right, okay, yeah. The imaginary number space is complete fiction, but I know what they're saying. It's another dimension. Right. I mean, it's basically what they call technobabble, right? In Star Trek, the words they're saying don't mean anything. But she's like, I do it to be praised by myself. That is such a great line. She gets all the best lines. Oh, crap. Well, that's not good. You can smell underwater? I don't think you can smell underwater or any kind of fluid. I don't think if you're in fluid, I don't think your nose sensors. Jesus, man, he's starting to panic, man. Crap. Wow, that's not good. I won't nag on it, but like, yeah, I don't think you can smell underwater. You know what it'd be? He would taste it. He would taste the blood in the fluid. That's what he would do. That's what would happen. Interesting. I would have thought. Um, that's right. We got to recover the. That's right. Kick her ass. Don't say anything else, or you're gonna get another one of these. Don't you forget what I just did. I keep my pimp hand strong. Yeah, there's something special about it. What's going on here? Don't make me throw you over the side here. I don't know, man. I don't believe you. Yeah, you're lying. You lying ass. Yeah, trust you. Pfft. Kiss my ass. And you held your hand. There was one slap. You're a big baby. Like, oh my God, the tragedy of it all. You big ass baby. Interesting. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the undercurrents in this whole show, right? A lot of this has been going on underneath the surface here. And he's dream walking, or shall we say fire walking. I'll stick with dream walking. You may not know about Twin Peaks. Interesting. Yep, we have that voice in their head. Usually that voice is an a-hole. Right, right. Right. I'm not sure I'm following this. Interesting. Tell you what, she has one purpose, and that's to read him for filth, and it's actually some interesting commentary, right? That's right. There's too much slapping going on in this show. The rest of this episode is just going to be people getting slapped the hell up. Sometimes you gotta educate. I'm gonna go back through. I'm gonna pause my reaction when they're done with this sequence. Go back through and read all this again because I want to make sure I'm catching it all because there's a lot happening here. But I want to wait till the end of the scene so I can do the whole thing right. Swim is the easiest thing. Anybody can swim, man. Babies can swim. It's the easiest thing you do, man. Interesting. Cuss him out. Yes, you are. Right. This writing is really good, man. There's a lot of stuff about human nature in here. Well, crap. That's not good. Yeah, that 12 minutes might be the difference, man. Oh, crap. He's gone into the Fantasia portion of his hallucinations. Not good. You never want to be in the Fantasia portion. I like what he said there, by the way. I rewatched it, of course, like I said I would. Um, how he hates his father, but he also loves him, and he's not sure which is which, right? I liked what he was saying about that. Oh, crap. The hell is that about? I never heard about him killing his wife. Jesus. Interesting. Very complicated relationship here. The father son, mother daughter dynamics are the most complicated, probably, in writing. There's so many directions you can go there because there's so many permutations. You know, a lot of times, like the cold will kill you in space before you lose oxygen. So the fact his temperature's out too is a bad. It's a bad. He's gonna die both ways. At least freezing to death is peaceful, from what I've heard. You just go to sleep. Sometimes with this animation, I don't know if the video file crashed because it just froze up. It does that sometimes. Here, did it freeze up? What is happening, man? I'm assuming it didn't. Oh, I'm hearing music, so of course it didn't. Jesus. But yeah, like you need to have some kind of like something happening dynamically in the. Oh, wait a minute. In the video, oh, we're gonna say what the hell's going on. I think we're getting some deep mythology in this episode. There's a higher purpose, higher being. Is it possible the angels are forces of good? I don't believe it because they destroy so much. Maybe we don't know what the hell's going on. I'm sure we don't know what's going on, but maybe we don't know what's going on in a way that different than what I thought we didn't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Well, you better find out real fast, dude. Hey, maybe he got a power up, or it let him out. What's up? I'm out of here. Interesting. He used the power of love, which maybe is what this is all about. Like, The Last of Us is about love. You wouldn't think so. You'd think zombie movie, right? Zombie show, zombie game. It's about love. Like I said, you reduce a story to one word. Last of Us is about love. Never really seen it in action. Just standing here on the street, have you? I like what she said there. Interesting. Exactly. Yeah, that's a problem. You know what they're gonna do. Nothing good. Now, Before you criticize my choices, just remember I'm a badass. Like she said, I'm following one of these. It gives you a certain kind of perspective, doesn't it? Her little ass standing there is like, damn, look at her. Hilarious. Interesting. I need to cuss you out. I've been too soft on you. Slap, slap. Don't ever do it again. Aww. I knew she cared about him, but this is next level stuff right here, man. Man, he is wrecked. What an asshole. That's all she wanted. The only reason she was staying there, she wanted to see that happen. Interesting. Yeah, we need to take care of her, Take care of her. Oh, darn. What if they don't forgive us? They don't care, man. They literally don't care. At least I don't think they're shipping him and Asuka. Thank God. I think they're shipping these two. Uh oh. Why would you gasp so dramatically unless you think that means something? Yeah. Why were you peeking in here? Maybe I'm wrong. I like the art style in this particular sequence. It's hand drawn. Like I know it's probably all hand drawn, but this is extra hand drawn. If you know what I mean. I like how he just flopped back. I didn't catch his last. The hell did you just say? It's still there, the smell of blood. That's why I'm like, why are you sniffing yourself, dude? See, here's the thing. I didn't actually pick up on that. That's very interesting. The smell of blood was in his head. Because I had no science on that. I've never read anything about this. I don't think you can smell underwater. Matter of fact, let me actually reference. Let me check that. You can't smell anything because it's impossible to inhale without getting water in your lungs. Okay. But there's water though, right? Like there is water that, like, say you're underwater. There's, like, say this is your nose, okay? I mean, this is a better example. Okay, just so you can see the cup better. This cup is your nose, all right? So you see how there's a hole in the bottom, and in the nasal passage goes up a certain part into your head, right? So this right here is your nose. What I assume happens when you're underwater, I don't know this, but I think what happens when you're underwater is the water goes up to here, and there's a certain point where it stops because, like, there's probably the pressure of air inside your head. Yeah, in fact, that's true. The pressure of air inside your head is enough to keep the water out to a certain level. You ever heard of a diving bell? A diving bell is a thing that would go underwater like this. Like if you stick a cup underwater, the water will not go up to here because there's air inside there. Air will keep the water out, right? So that the diving bell premise before they had submarines is they would put you in like a cup and put you down underwater, and you could be underwater and you wouldn't drown, right? So your nose is the same thing. Water will only go up so far, but it will go in there, right? Like say it goes in halfway. I know I'm doing a terrible job with my demonstration here, but like say the water goes up like to here. Well, you have smell sensors right here, so you would think the water would touch those smell sensors, and maybe you can smell a little something. I know I'm arguing against my own point. I guess not. Not really. I don't know how smell works, but I guess it has to go. The air has to go all the way through with the particles that you sense, and then you derive a smell from that sense of what you're sensing, right? As the particles go past, maybe they have to go all the way through before you can actually smell something. So, but anyway, I was proven correct. But like, I always want to like critically think about this shit. Does it make sense? You cannot smell underwater. So, whenever you encounter something, you bump up against something like this in writing, in fiction. Did the writer not know what they were talking about, or is the writer intentionally doing this because they want you to think something else is going on? I think it's the second case here. The writer knows what to talk about. The writer knows you cannot smell underwater. So what happened? It was in his head. In his mind, he smells blood on him. That says a lot, doesn't it? That is fascinating. That's why they had this scene here at the end, because otherwise, I would just assume, well, you didn't know what the hell you're talking about, and then move on. I wouldn't think about it anymore. They put this little thing here at the very end so you would know it's in his head. There is no blood because you can't smell underwater. That's very interesting. Also, I paused and talked for a long time after that, so let me hand off to that. Okay, so I went back through and watched that sequence again. And here's what I don't understand. I don't understand what he means like there's a version of him in other people. Like there's a version of Shadow Dog in you. That makes no sense. What the hell does that mean? Like, and he's worried about that version of himself and other people. See, I kind of took it the first time through. I kind of took it the other way around because I believe there is a version of other people in you. There is a version of Dad inside me, and sometimes he comes out and he tells jokes. I've mentioned this before in a different reaction to something else. I don't remember what it was. But he makes a certain kind of joke. Like, for instance, he will joke about anytime a writer leaves it, anytime an actor leaves a show, he makes a joke about how they wanted more money and so the writers fired them. And it would get on my nerves because I understand how the business actually works. And I understand as a writer, sometimes you kill off a character because it's a writing choice and it makes sense for the story. So it really gets under my skin when Dad makes that joke. I realize I'm speaking about it in present tense, but the point of that is, like, because he died years ago. The point of that is that there's a version of him inside my brain. So I don't like that joke. It used to get on my nerves when he'd make that joke, and he knew it got on my nerves. That's why he made the joke, right? I think he also believed it, but sometimes you lean into it when you want to get on somebody's nerves. But then I found myself making that joke. Where did that come from? That didn't come from me. Dad made that joke. And Dad will make these jokes every now and then. When I'm editing, I will see that's a dad joke. And I don't mean that in a pejorative sense. We go, oh, dad joke, bad joke. All my jokes are good, baby. No. I just mean that in the sense that, like, that's the dad persona that's in my brain. See, I think we construct a persona of somebody through years of experience with them, years of interactions with them. We all do it. If our car is stalled in the desert and we're trying to make it 10 miles to the oasis, that last mile, we're not the ones getting through. We've got our drill sergeant shouting at us, or the aunt we hate, or the brother who used to beat us up or something. Like, somebody's in our head striving. We've seen this in movies before, but it's a real thing. They call, actually, there's second person syndrome. Psychologists have a word for that. It's a way of keeping you going. They call it second person syndrome, something like that. But that's an extreme example, but I think we always have that. Like, we're in a grocery store and we want to buy some chocolate, but we know we shouldn't buy chocolate because we're allergic to chocolate, but we like the way chocolate tastes, right? We want that high that we get from chocolate, even though we're allergic to it. If we eat this chocolate, we're going to break out into hives, but we want this chocolate. So we're reaching for the chocolate. We hear that voice, our mother who cares about us, saying, put that back. That's going to make you sick. That's not you. That's a persona you created in your mind of another person. We have a lot of these. I probably have, let me think, 5 or 6 of them in my brain. People I interact with enough that have had an impact on me, that I actually value their opinion, I value what they think, and I know what they would say in this situation. When I'm reaching for this chocolate, I know what my mom would say. When I want to stay up too late, I know what my dad would say. Or certain jokes would come, or, so-and-so, my best friend would think this is funny. We all have that in our brains. Like, that's a thing, right? That I know about. These are fabrications, simulations we've created in our brains. That I'm comfortable with. I know what that is. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Let me know if you know something about, like, what they're actually talking about. Like, I can't grasp what he's saying. How's there a version of you? Because here's the thing. Okay, say you're dad and you're still alive. And when he was still alive, I had this, because I'm on my own. Like, I ain't gonna see him for 3 days, right? And then I would do something, and maybe a dad joke would come out, or I would, like, don't eat the chocolate or whatever, right? So it can happen while people are still alive too, right? So the question is, does that mean he knows there's a version of himself in me and he's worried about what that version is? No. He never knew. I never had this conversation with him. You wouldn't assume that. I assume there's a version of me in some of your heads. I assume if you've consumed enough of my content and you're watching a movie and something happens and you know what I would say there. Like, somebody says, let me show you something. Zip. That's a very common joke I make. You might hear that in your head. Me saying that. That's that persona you fabricated in your mind of me. It's not really me, but it's a simulation constructed with a certain subset of information that you have, right? That's a real thing. But I don't worry about my simulations in other people's brains, and I don't think that's what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about. Like I'm at a complete loss. Like I've read a lot, I've talked to a lot of people, I've seen a lot of philosophy. I'm not grasping what the hell he's talking about. I don't understand. So if somebody can illuminate that, that'd be great. Maybe they'll elaborate later in this episode. I don't know.